Hello, and welcome to this prog review special where I look at the work of an artist, and in this case it's going to be Steve Hackett. You know that because you've read the description. Yes, this is my Steve Hackett primer in honour of there being a new album out on the 22nd of October. I thought, well, let's go through his discography and tell you what I think. So we'll discount everything he did with Genesis, and we'll discount all the stuff he did externally. We're just concerned with his solo career and any little offshoots that might be important. So it all begins with Voyage of the Acolyte, 1975. It appears at a strange time. Genesis lose Gabriel. They're in a transitionary period, and Hackett produces this frankly amazing record, which puts out certain people's noses out of joint in Genesis. Tony Banks. So yeah, what's notable is you do have appearances of Mike Rutherford, Phil Collins, Sally Oldfield, Percy Jones on bass. That's very good. His brother John Hackett, and it is an amazing record, an absolute essential buy. You've got Ace of Wands, Tower Struck Down, Shadow of the Hierophant. Oh, Sally Oldfield. Oh, what do you do to me, love? Oh, so that's the first one up. So everything gets a bit awful with Genesis, and he's out the door. Next one up is Please Don't Touch. Now, Please Don't Touch was actually meant to be a song performed by Genesis on the Wyndham Wuthering album, but it never made the cut. They rehearsed it, but they never went with it. For me, Please Don't Touch isn't as satisfying as Voyage of the Acolyte. It's a game of two halves. The first side of the album I'm not too fond of, but the second side, from Land of a Thousand Autumns onwards, I really do enjoy. I love the tracks with Richie Havens on. You know, How Can I, Icarus Ascending. Oh, great. But for me, it's a bit lopsided. I'm not a fan of Narnia. I'm not a fan of Racing in A. I'm not even a fan of Hoping Love Will Last. It's, you know, girly pop, you know. Ugh. There you go. We move on to 1979. And very unfashionable album. You know, 1979, you're thinking it's, you know, the last death throes of punk, and, you know, you got the synth pop bands appearing, and, you know, New Romantics, and we've got an amazing record, Spectral Mornings, which for me, again, it's another essential album. It really is the archetypal Steve Hackett record. Lots of great songs on there. Couple of interesting instrumentals, but, you know, brilliant. Every Day, Virgin of the Gypsy, I love. Ballad of Decomposing Man, good fun. Again, Hackett shows who brought the humour to Genesis, and of course Spectral Mornings itself, which is an amazing instrumental, and again very inspirational to me as a guitar player. Then we go on to 1980, Defector. Again, I have a very strong feeling for this album. I do like it. I like the fact that it's a bit more stripped back. You know, not so many 12 strings on it. I love the steps. I just think it's a great record. Time to Get Out, Slogans, Leaving. Jacuzzi. Oh, great piece. Deflates a bit on side 2, but then it ends up with Sentimental Institution, which is just the most amazing song ever. I just love that song to bits. Again, if you get they did remaster all these albums in 2005. I think they're the versions you can get. They get a load of extra five extra tracks, which are well worth picking up, like Hercules Unchained and a load of live material. But yeah, pretty good one. 1981, Cured. Yeah, I don't know what to say really. The drum machine took over. I've never really got it. The good thing about it is it's only 33 minutes 51 seconds long. It really is a terrible, terrible album. I am sorry, and I love Steve Hackett to bits. I think he's a great musician, great guy, etc. But Cured, I think it did need to be hung up in a smoky room for for a long period of time. Next, Highly Strung. Again, I have mixed feelings about this one because you have some really interesting tracks like Camino Royale, which is interesting, and Hackett to Pieces. But the rest of it, again, Hackett was at this time obsessed with almost trying to do pop songs, kind of rocky, proggy pop songs, and it never really spoke to me. I mean, India Rubber Man. What the hell were you thinking, man? What the hell were you thinking? Crazy, crazy stuff. Bay of Kings. This is 1983. This is a solo nylon string album. Lovely, lovely. The original album cover is absolutely fantastic too. I think it was the latest reissue has a picture of Steve on the front, whereas the original version has a lovely reclining nude, which is much more aesthetically pleasing for us red-blooded males. But it's a great record if you like nylon guitar music, and I just think it's a great record. You do have Nick Magnus and John Hackett appearing in it as well, so it's not all solo. 1984, Till We Have Faces. Now this is another interesting record because you have a very interesting Brazilian feel to it because it uses a lot of Brazilian percussion on some of the tracks. Also, did you have Ian Mosley on drums from Marillion? Oh yeah, because Ian Mosley, I think he's on this and Highly Strung. It was with Hackett before he defected to Marillion. Yeah, there are all links everywhere. Links. The interconnectedness of things, he said. Oh, still got a bit of a sore throat. But yeah, there are bits of it I like and bits of it I don't like. It suffers in places of being too long. Like Matilda Smith Williams' Home for the Ages is quite amusing, but it goes on too long. The Rio Connection, Taking the Easy Way Out is quite interesting. And of course the single Dole that's made in Japan is quite catchy. I mean, it's almost a pop song, but there's something about the record, I don't know. I like it and I don't. I might need to go back and have a listen. I might need to go back and listen to it. I remember liking it at the time. When I first got it, I really enjoyed it, and then I went back to it and thought, wait a minute, this is a bit lightweight, and not enough guitar on it. Maybe that was it. Maybe it's all this obsession with percussion. Or maybe it's him just singing too much. I do like it when he does the instrumentals. 1988, we have Momentum. Now, I remember searching for this blooming album. When it was released in 1988, I searched up and down for it. It took me ages to get a copy of it. Again, it's another nylon string solo outing. Very, very good. Has an interesting... I think is it a Concert for Munich track? Again, it's a long time since I've listened to it. Features guitar synthesizer, which blew my mind at the time. But again, I kind of like this stuff. This is what I was listening to when I was 17. Oh yes. Guitar Noir, 1993. Now this I got very excited about when it originally came out because it was like the first proper Steve Hackett album since Till We Have Faces for almost nearly 9 years. And I remember buying it, and I think it's a great record. They've changed the track listing though. My version bears very little resemblance to the version that everyone talks about now. But Sierra Camada is the big track for me. I like that one, and I think it's a really good album. It shows him returning back to a style that I was more happy with. Then we have Blues with a Feeling. Can blue men play the whites, or are they hypocrites? I don't like the blues, I'm sorry. Only poor black men, grizzled black men, are allowed to play the blues. That's it, really. Watch for the Skies, Genesis Revisited, 1996. Oh, I remember this when it came out. Oh yeah, I remember this all too well. In fact, I'm not going to talk about it, because I'm going to talk about this when I review the new album next week. So you're going to have to hold on. Oh yes, because I have something to say. It's better to burn out than to fade away. 1997, Midsummer's Night's Dream. Now, he did 2 albums of pseudo-classical music. For me, I found them very dull. They didn't really speak to me. I find it very hard when like prog performers go classical. It's the same when Tony Banks did it. You just, it's like, I just didn't find them interesting at all. So, I hate to be utterly dismissive. Then in 1999 we have Darktown, and I remember again I didn't like that album. I didn't like that album at all. It just came across as a whole unholy heap of noise to me, and I thought I didn't rate it much. I just thought it was a bit of old rubbish. But what I did enjoy is the following year, in 2000, they produced Sketches of Satie with his brother John Hackett, and they covered the work of Eric Satie. He did Gymnopédie and the variations, and they did it in the style of guitar and flute, which is quite an unusual way of doing those songs. Usually it's like on the piano or with an orchestra, orchestral, but it's really stripped back, and I absolutely adore that record. I think it's really good. Now, this is the classical music I think he should be doing. This is more like it. I didn't like Midsummer's Night Dream or Metamorphosis, but I enjoyed that record. So sue me. Feedback 86. Now, that was a compilation of offcuts. I think Brian May appears on one of the songs as well. Utterly awful, utterly forgettable. That's it. That's all I've got to say. To Watch the Storms. This was 2003. Now, I enjoyed this. This was a fine record. I bought the special edition, of course, and it was a big meal. If I remember, we got Strutting Ground. Devil is an Englishman, which is a cover of Thomas Dolby song he did for a film called Gothic. It was a B-side of his for a film called Gothic. Thomas Dolby, that is. Mechanical Bride, which is a direct rip-off of Schizoid Man. Brand New, which I enjoyed. Serpentine song. Oh, fantastic. And you got Ian MacDonald from King Crimson doing his little bit. And it's a really solid record. Really, really, really liked it. I liked that one. Then, like I said, in 2005, we've got Metamorphosis, which again is his pseudo-classical. It's nice enough. But, it wasn't for me. 2006, Wild Orchids. Again, I didn't understand. I didn't like it. It was a little bit, yeah. After To Watch the Storms, which I thought was very strong, I thought Wild Orchids was complete opposite. I thought it was very weak album. Very soft around the edges. I don't know. Just didn't. It didn't work for me. So we'll move on. 2009, Out of the Tunnel's Mouth. This is the post-divorce album. Oh yes, and that's why you see him. All he's got is his guitar. That's all he's been left with. She got the house, sold it for 2.5 million, with the studio in the basement, and all he's left is his leather jacket and his guitar case. Oh man. Best to be like me, penniless. Then when they try and divorce you, you walk away with exactly what you've got, nothing. But anyway, it's an interesting record because again, he's trying. It's very personal, and some of it I like, and some of it I don't like. I quite like. Which is the one that that Anthony Phillips appears on. Emerald and Ash, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like that one, but I thought it was weak. I just didn't. It didn't speak to me. I'm very, very hard on these records. I know it's terrible. And then in 2011, well, I've already reviewed this deal. If you want to watch that review, touch the screen, feel it, touch the screen. And I thought this was a much better record. Just thought it was tight. The ideas were better, more melodious, and yeah, I just found it a lot more interesting to listen to. Loses some of its power towards the end. Again, a lot of these people have to do like a 60-minute album when there's a good 45-minute record in there. But I love Prairie Angel, Place Called Freedom, Loch Lomond, Phoenix Flown, Waking to Life. I thought was really good fun because it's completely different style of music to him. And but again, some of the later songs down the end could have been excised, but you hear that in my original review. I've already said too much. And then we have Hackett, Life Within a Day, which you can listen to that review if you click this hand. Quick it. Yeah, okay. So what have I got in this orange juice? And so this brings us up to date with Genesis Revisited 2, which I'm not going to review here, but if you want to touch the end of my nose, go on. This won't be available until next week, so you're wasting your time if you're doing it before, I don't know, October the 22nd. But if you're watching this post 22nd, that's where you want to touch. And I shall be talking about Genesis Revisited 2, where he goes through his back catalogue and with Genesis and his solo career and revisits those dumping grounds. He's done a number of live albums, Time Lapse, Tokyo Tapes, which is interesting, with Ian MacDonald, John Wetton, Chester Thompson, and they do King Crimson, Steve Hackett, Genesis, quite good. Live archive box set's pretty cool. Somewhere in South America and Hungarian Horizons DVDs, well worth checking out. And then you got the Live Rouse album, which was 2010, Fire and Ice DVD, pretty cool. And that brings us up to date. Now, essentials. Are you ready? Voyage of the Acolyte, Spectral Mornings, Defector, Bay of Kings for the solo nylon stuff, Guitar Noir, Torch the Storms, and Beyond the Shrouded Horizon. There you go. There's the ones to check out. The rest of them, visit later. Cured and Highly Strung. Only investigate those with a long stick, just to make sure they're safe first. So that's it. My name's been Darren Locke. I've been burbling on about the career of Steve Hackett, and thank you for sitting through this. Those of you who have made it to the end, according to my stats, most of you only watched the first 3 minutes. So there you go. I've never lasted 3 minutes in my life, you know that? Even when I'm ill. So there you go. The missus will attest to that. So, this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. Us old guys, we can keep going longer, further, faster, harder. Oh yeah. You don't want it over in 3 minutes. No, where's the satisfaction? So this is it. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up, because there's a new rating system apparently on the YouTube. And these thumbs up, I'm not a thumbs up whore or click whore, whatever they call it. I couldn't give a monkeys, but apparently if you get a thumbs up, now it appears in the search ratings better or something. And I would like people to see these videos, because it's almost impossible for you guys to find anything now that YouTube have redesigned everything. This is why our next bit is I implore you to follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Google Plus if you want, because then you'll keep up to date with when I'm posting new videos. Because if you try and rely on YouTube, it's getting nigh on impossible. Even people that I subscribe to, I find that I've missed out on their videos, or I've even been unsubscribed from their channels, which is mightily annoying. So if you thought, oh, I haven't covered something or this, that, and the other, I probably have. You might have missed it. Remember, if you want to check out the Prog Review playlist, click my eyes. Click them good. Oh yeah, there's my playlist, man. And that's it. Only one more thing to say. Are you ready? Oh yeah, I'm ready. I was born ready. And that is Prog on.